What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. From the road, you guys can't see the beautiful mountains behind me, but I am in Utah, Park City, Utah. Don't worry, I'm not scared of nobody finding me because I'm gonna find you. Pew pew. Okay. Um, and I want to do this video tonight because I want to give you stories from the road. I also want to give you just news from like the ground up because that's where the real news is. And a lot of times y'all think, well, Erica just talking this crazy mess. She don't know what she's talking about. But I really want you to understand, like, no. I deal with people on the ground. I get fresh, cold pressed juice before I fly. Okay. And I want to break this down for you guys. Make sure you hit the like button. Also drop your city and state in the chat. Now here we go. Real estate crash. The thoughts I got from a Hispanic multimillionaire real estate developer out here in Utah. Okay. Now here's the crazy part. I want you guys to understand. Go check out Diamond Dave's video he posted today. I think it's on his Patreon, but you get like 20 minutes of it. And I totally 100% agree with him. Right? If you go up and over there and something happens to you, deal with it. Right? I'm just gonna say I'm setting this up for how I met this guy. Okay. So I'm out here in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. They have a history of craziness towards Native women. Native women have gone missing out here. Black people have gone missing out here. We just had a girl missing out here. So I'm carrying my pew pew pew. And somebody said, well, I'm just gonna say it. One of my white friends said, well, why are you carrying a pew 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 out there? I said, girl, why would I go out there without it? There's bears. There's wild folks out here. See, don't assume because it's white, it's safe. Okay, come on now. I'm gonna break it down to you. Out here, there's a lot of white homelessness and van life out here, and them little vans that make you think somebody about to snatch your body up. Okay, so yes, I had the pew 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 out here. Okay, I was alert because if I go out here and something happens to me, guess what people gonna say? Black people back home gonna say, well, she shouldn't have been out there. That's on her. She was out there. Okay, now. How does this segue into the story? Go check out Diamond Dave's video. He's spot on. I'm just gonna tell you because there's a couple of stories. One in Detroit right now, or outside of Detroit, one of the suburbs that Black people don't live in. There's a mixed child, and the school cut off all the child's hair, made her look like a little boy. And at first, her Black daddy wasn't mad till it got on Facebook, and it was like Black people were like, "Oh my God. Oh my God, you better sue the school." So now they want to sue for $1 million. But most people are like, well, what they doing over there? Every time I ask somebody Black from Detroit, when I say he's in this town, they like, what he doing over there? You go over there and they mess with your kids, you got to deal with it because you went up and over there. Okay. Prime example, there's a couple videos right now on YouTube where some brothers have gotten arrested in Brazil and Colombia. And they say, well, prostitution's legal. Why are we being arrested over there? Brother, you went over there. Deal with it. Let them cry for you. You up and over there now, okay? So I just want you guys to be alert and aware when I talk and do these shows. I want you to be in a position of power. And what is a position of power and what does it look like? What does it truly look like? So you ain't up and over there somewhere and somebody done got on you. You dig what I'm saying? Okay, I hope you're picking it up what I put down. I can go case after case after case. There's plenty of stuff that's been happening overseas with people like us and Japan and Korea and everywhere else. And let me tell you, you went up and over there. Let them defend you. Okay. There was a Hispanic boy with dreads. And let's just be honest, everybody thought he was Black. And they made him cut his dreads so he could finish wrestling. The boy looks distraught. I mean, he looks depressed. He looks deflated. And his dad was concerned, but his mama wasn't. Okay, she wasn't Black. Okay, and when they figured out the boy was Latino, Afro Latino, but Latino, the news was like, "Ma'am, you see how they just did your child?" And it dawned on her, oh Lord, I'm supposed to act the other way. Oh, I'm upset. I want to sue the school. So again, when y'all go in other cities and other places, and you're not in a position of power, pay attention. How they treating you and the appropriate amount of anger you should have. So anyways, this I know that was a little tangent, but I'm gonna go into the show now. So anybody can put it in the comment notes. Erica starts the show at 5 minutes. Okay. I'm out here and I'm in a part of Utah way up beside near Idaho, near Bear Lake. And I'm leaving this area, and I'm like, I'm gonna stop and eat at this place. I'm gonna chill. Only brown people at this place is me and this other man. We look at each other. He's Hispanic and older. I look at him. He look at me. We do the nod. You dig what I'm saying? Like the nod, okay? We're sitting down. I'm eating a long time. He on his phone laughing. I'm answering business calls. I'm talking business on the phone. This other white man look over at me like, okay, you doing business. And I started walking to the car, right? He walking to the car. I'm a little alert because I'm like, okay, he walking when I walk. What's going on? And he sees the license plate. He said, hey, man, you from Florida? I said, nah, man, I'm from Texas. He's like, I'm from North Carolina. I said, oh, no, I'm from North Carolina. Okay, always repping. This goes into a 55-minute conversation at that point once we say North Carolina. He's talking about schools. He's talking about cities. He's talking about his businesses. He's talking about, oh, my son goes to Methodist. Oh, try to not say his name. I'm going to do everything but say his name. He's like, oh, yeah, I went to East Carolina for a year way back in the day. And he said, oh, it was too white for me. I ain't racist. And this way it was so funny because it's a Hispanic guy and a black woman talking about, well, I'm not racist. But it was too many white people for me. So I went to NC Central where I got a minority scholarship because I'm Hispanic, right? And he says whatever, Hispanic group is. And he said he got married over there. So I already knew what that meant. My first wife was black. Okay. So anyways, long story short, we're going through this conversation. And old boy is naming his companies. And when you start dealing with people who really have money, like he's dressed so nonchalant, like kind of halfway construction boots, jeans, chilling. And by the time at the end of 55 minutes, I realized 55 minutes, almost an hour. I realized, oh boy, is a multimillionaire. The company he's naming in Raleigh, I thought were some Italians. Been building stuff for years. Is built the Top Golf and the other competition to Top Golf. Anybody knows what I'm talking about? Put it in chat. Building houses, building subdivisions. Also owns an IT company. Also owns this other company. And when people really got money and they just, oh yeah, you can look us up. Go look us up online. Yeah, go. That's the name of the company. Yeah, our office is in here. Whenever you come, right? Oh yeah, I did 20 years in Raleigh. After I got divorced, I needed some change. So I went to Charlotte, started building out in Charlotte. I built this subdivision called blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, damn. What you doing out here? You dig what I'm saying? Wink, wink with the wink eye. And he's like, oh, all the builders out here are so busy and so expensive working with the California folk. They were searching the nation for builders. Called me in North Carolina. Say, hey man, hey, we're gonna get you out here. We want you to do this mock-up. We want to do this drawing for these $4 million houses. You came with a referral. We want to bring you in, and the place we're gonna put you in is just gonna be $200 a night. He said, I'm not paying ass. You called me to come out here. You gonna fly me out. You gonna pay for where I'm staying, and that's what it is. So when he tells me where he's staying in this area, it's like literally $1 million houses on the water. But he's like, yeah, I'm in that one. They put me up over there. I said, oh, I see why they want to charge you $200 a night. At least something, because I know they pay an arm and a leg to get you over there. He said, oh yeah, and they get me a boat. He said, you gonna be in town tomorrow? My sons are flying in from anyway, North Carolina, Raleigh. I'll just say Raleigh. And we're gonna get on the boat. It's gonna be a blast. I said, now, sir, I'm from North Carolina, but I ain't that friendly. I ain't getting on the boat with you. I don't know you like that. But amazing conversation. Gave me his direct phone line. Gave me his office. Said, hey, tell, I don't want to say her name. Tell her, if you need anything, call me directly if you can't get me on my cell phone. And, I'm telling him about Detroit. I'm telling him about properties. I'm telling him about Austin, Texas. Telling him about building stuff. Telling him about building an apartment complex. How can he help me build a small 50 unit? Da, 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 da. He's like, okay, that's nothing but a deal. That's nothing but a flight. Da, 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 da. So I'm saying, man, what do you think about the real estate? He said, look at these houses out here. Now, no disrespect, Utah. I apologize, but y'all know I'm about to talk bad about Utah real estate. I'm sorry. I got to. We out here by Bear Lake. We're an inch over from Idaho. 5 minutes down the street, we into Idaho. And I look at these houses and I tell him, these houses are ugly as hell. These are ugly. I don't know how much they're paying you to build this. He said, oh, it's $1 million. It's $1 million. But these are ugly. He said, oh, I'm going to build one that looks like that. So we're talking on this thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. But that still ain't worth $1 million. He said, oh, no. Maybe 300,000. outskirts of North Carolina somewhere. 300,000 and way out past Atlanta, Georgia. Big, yeah, but not $1 million. This is California money coming in buying this. This is out of town money. And I said, well, what's that mean? He said, everybody I worked with in the past 2 years have been doing balloon payments. I said, oof, balloon payments? He said, yeah. He said, they just paying interest. He said, so I know it's got to crash. He said, ain't no way these people got 10-year balloons. They may have 5-year balloons, but they ain't got no 10-year balloon. They've been doing balloons for a while now. And I said, well, what happens what do you mean? He said, well, they only make interest payments. When the end of that balloon comes, if they can't refinance, it's a crash. He said, but we're going to make our money either way, right? And I'm laughing. I'm like, yeah. He's like, look at all these properties out here, these new ones. Who's putting this money into this? Not the locals. This is out of town money. And if they took a cash out refinance for their first house, I got to see the bank that gave them the loan for the second. It can't be a real loan. He said, everybody I'm running to is doing hard money loans and balloon loans and brand new construction. He said, that's dangerous. He said that they're overvalued and overpriced. He said, there's only so many people with a lot of money moving in that's going to be able to pay for this. The local people can't pay for this. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for telling me that. And I said, what's your thoughts on North Carolina, this and this and that? And we're talking about North Carolina. We're talking about real estate. We're talking about Texas. And it was like the best hour combo I've ever had with somebody, because when you really run into people with money and he not even wearing, first of all, he's shaped like a giant football player. So when he told me who he would play football with back in the day, I was like, oh yeah, like you're legit. You built like a tank, but I believe it, and he's older now. He's got all this is gray. All this is gray. Got grown children, but still built like a tank. Okay. And so when you really do it, you're so confident and relaxed, and you strike up conversations easy, especially if you've ever been in sales. It ain't even a thing. Ain't even a thing. Yeah, come check me out. Indian Trail, North Carolina. Come on through. Blah, blah, blah. Not even a thing. But what he's encountering is people flying him out from North Carolina to Utah near Bear Lake. You can look all this up. To build 4 $1 million homes, because all the builders are so busy in Salt Lake, so busy in near Yellowstone, so busy in every other part that there's nobody left. And this is why when I keep telling y'all, if you have skills, if you're a builder, if you're a handyman, if you work in the trade, you're a welder, he's having to fly a crew into Utah to do the work. I want y'all to understand that, like, no matter what those people are going to pay for them for 4 individual $1 million houses on the water, that's crazy. Think about the cost to fly in a crew, pay where they stay, done gave the man a boat to get on the water, and it's about to be wintertime. That's not cheap. That's not cheap. That's why I'm doing a whole show, probably, I don't know, later this week, probably tomorrow. But if it don't happen, I'll reschedule and tell you what I'm seeing out here, from the van life to the short staff to the glamping everywhere. They trying to throw up, certain types of housing as fast as they can to get that money. And people say, where could the economy gonna crash? I got a video called Vacations. I think it's in here. I don't know when it's gonna play, but people with money gonna find a way. People with points and credit cards, they're gonna find a way. Now, have I seen out here a lot of stuff closed down? For sure. But trust, you know what I'm saying? People gonna keep playing musical chairs till they can't no more. The hotel I'm in right now, it went out of business. Marriott bought it, redid it in here. All this is mostly redid. I can tell it's newish. And getting ready for what? Snow season. That's how fast that happened. They went down in 2020. They took it over. They done came in here, shellac, put some little laminate floors down, some new stuff, move things around, and getting ready for snow season. Because they know there's levels to this. Some of these hotels will just house workers. They're not even at the caliber to make real money to get it from snowboarders and skiers. They're going to have workers in here. It's not this hotel, but some other ones out here. A lot of the game out here for this This tourism area is they house the workers. That's how they get the discount workers. That's how they pay them low. And the workers, usually are seasonal people, get to be out here in the snow. And so when you see these news stories talking about, well, I can't find no housing, honey, they don't care about you. You a seasonal worker. You don't live here full time. They don't care that you can't find housing because they know you're not going to be here long. You like all these other 20-something-year-old late in life millennials just hanging out like, yeah, I work at a ski resort, man. Yeah. They don't care about that. Okay. And the people that are going to make the money, I'll talk more about it tomorrow. We'll break it down how they make their money. All right. Now, I know y'all probably got some saucy comments in there already from what I'm saying. But as far as a house crash, look to, I want you to be surprised, but look to some parts are already dropping. And I'm going to say this, Dallas, Texas, I haven't seen the 30% crash, but there is I would say there's like a 10% drop in prices. Don't take my word on it. Go on realtor.com, go around there, look at all the arrows go pointing down. And this is Texas. So, okay, again, this is Texas. We're not even talking about parts of, like literally a billboard I saw on the highway said, want to make 100,000 real quick? Second billboard said, list on homes. Third billboard said, sell to a Californian. They laughing all the way to the bank on these old ass houses. And even if you want to go to Texas and you want to get a brand new house, the limits on who has enough money to buy these new houses is there. There's a limit. There's a cap. So when people talk about, well, Erica, people are quitting their jobs and they're not coming back. Oh, honey, don't worry. Don't worry. We've got 1 million people at the border. Don't worry. They're coming. We got new workers. We got new workers and new people coming on in, baby. Don't you worry. Now, you're going to say, man, Erica, that's a little bit crazy what you just said there. Take a look at Austin. Take a look at Houston. Go on realtor.com and tell me how many down green arrows. They're not down red because red is like, oh my God, it's on fire. It's crashing. But down green arrows that are out there. And tell me what you're seeing because I'm seeing it. Now, I don't believe necessarily we're going to have a crash, but we are having definitely a correction because these people can't get their appraisers to match these numbers. These people cannot get the bank to get these loans closed enough. And again, you're not supposed to be able to get second mortgages or 20% down mortgages, but they exist. They still exist in this economy. We don't have to go too deep in that. But there's 295 people here. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the conversation. If you want me to talk more about different cities, hit it. But there was something else I wanted to mention here. And this is at the 18-minute mark, whatever. I'm doing this for the editor right now. Antone, after hours, got an executive job. And people in the comments, his video got like 20,000, 40,000 views, right? About him getting a job. But his videos talking about women got 60, 80,000 views. Y'all know what I want to say. But I'm going to leave it alone. Hold on. Okay. Now, why are people tripping about this? He's a millionaire. A millionaire don't need no job. I can't wait to quit my job and do a bunch of nothing. I'm gonna do a bunch of nothing all day. And here's the truth of it. We know you're gonna do a bunch of nothing all day because that's what you've been doing. We know that. That's your ultimate goal and desire is to I'm not making fun of this one guy. I'm not even gonna say his name because I thought about it and I don't want that smoke. But he filmed a day in the life of him. And essentially, he got out of the bed, he made himself breakfast, then he changed his clothes and he drove in his souped up sports car, went to the gym, worked out for an hour and 30 minutes, played hoops, came back to his house, showered, put a gold necklace on, got back in the Lambo. And it was not a Lambo, it's another type of car. Close enough. And he's driving around town and he's dropping off packages at the post office. And he just loving it. Living the life. Now, I'm not trying to be funny. But every day isn't that. And I promise you, many business owners I know, they love working out. That's why a lot of them are very fit. But that's not their whole life. That's not their whole life. That's not driving around in Las Vegas with your sports car so people see you and you going around a bunch of nowhere. That's not, most business owners don't work like that. Most people that are in business are productive to some degree, type A's a lot of times. And so yeah, the gym thing is for real. Like they pay trainers, they pay nutritionists, they hit the gym, right? They be in that mug, okay? They be serious about it because your health is your wealth, okay? But that's not their everyday life. That's a fantasy that men at work goofing off on Facebook think is real life. Think everybody out here tricking all day, just hooking up with women all day, just out here blowing money every day. Why do you think some people move to Las Vegas? Oh, I'm just leaving California. When I see people out here and thanks, John. When I see people out here who have moved, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna try to be gentle, and they live in substandard housing, even for Utah folks. Like Utah folks wouldn't be over there in that old housing. I knew you left California without a plan. So the idea of you getting a job after you made some money sounds ludicrous. Okay. So again, now I'm gonna share the screen here. Okay. Yeah, the teachers cut her hair. And that's a whole story. He only got crazy when he put it on Facebook. He's like, I can't believe this. But he looked like a Pookie in a Ray. But that's another story for another day. I want y'all to understand. I want you to go look up this stuff. When someone says they have an executive job, it don't mean they making 100 bands. It means 200 bands, 300,000 a year. And as a person who made a lot of money and was working in the painting and fencing company and realized I was bored because I was just at home processing payments. I really wasn't doing much all day. And I was like just throwing myself into YouTube. I was like, man, you get bored. Now I'm at a position now where I have to bring on this accountant. I'm going to bring back on a social media person, just clean up a lot of this stuff, and a customer fulfillment person, right? And that's not going to be cheap. And when you bring people on, now you got to bring consistent work in. So now you got to earmark $2,000 to $10,000 a month in advertising. So that bag you was taking home is going to be slightly reduced by a lot. Okay. And then we don't even talk about taxes. So let's just be honest. A lot of YouTubers have a lot of fun when they're in that point where they make 2 to 20 grand a month. It's just them. They edit and they laugh and they joking. But when it starts getting overwhelming, you're like, oh my God, these taxes. I got to pay for this. I got to pay for staff. It can become overwhelming. And you understand why people go back and get a job. And maybe it's like, oh no, I would never do that. Listen. If somebody offers you $200,000, let me go to the right. I think I might be on the wrong one. I am on the wrong one. Anyway, somebody gives you 200,000, 300,000 to come on board, executively advise them, tell them how to make their company run, be over a certain set of people. You turning down $250,000 when you know that you can get tax breaks working the job and having the business, depending on what businesses is. You got these dudes working construction coming home at night doing 3-hour hangouts. Okay? People who are productive and highly skilled get recruited. I've been recruited by 4 people this past, I'd say 3 months. Hey man, I'll pay you this amount of money. Just come over here, show me to do this business. Just do it for me. Because when people start getting to a high level of business performance, they don't want to sit down and learn this. They want to pay somebody to come in and do it and relieve them of that stress. Oh man, look at you. Thank you, T. Will, for the $10 cash app. Except for the late night show. Keep up the good work. And so I've been recruited. Now, even on the flip side, when I keep talking about tech to you guys, y'all like, oh, tech. Why are you going to keep talking about tech? She ain't in tech. Listen to me. Medium wages at the company for Twitter and Square are $172,000 to $155,000. These are medium salaries. And this is the U.S. careers too. Jobs that pay over $50K without a degree, right? I'm just showing you this because a lot of people, I would never work or I don't need a job. Listen, if the average person in America is making $30,000 to $40,000 a year, and I'm gonna tell you how a lot of that happens tomorrow when we do the other show. But that comes people doing seasonal work, partial hours, part-time work. A lot of that goes into that. When you start talking about somebody offering you 130,000, like right now, one of the students from Kamoy's class, she took her class and she says she's getting paid $69 an hour, remote work. It's her first job, y'all. Let's do the math. 69 an hour. Okay, over the course of a year, she's getting 132,000 for UX design. I'm saying it. I'm trying not to say it wrong, but it's UX design. Thank you, Mark K, for the $20 Cash App. I appreciate you. So you telling me you too good to be at home, remote working, making $69 an hour? See, this is where we start getting into this la la land of unrealistic stuff y'all talking about. This is how I know y'all lying. Because a lot of people out here are like, yeah, I wouldn't take no job. I'm gonna be at home with my kids. You don't even do that now, and you making $20 an hour, and you got free time. You out here on 6 and 8 hour hangouts arguing with folks. So miss me with this. Productive people will continue to be productive. There's a lot of YouTubers behind the scenes. I can tell y'all right now for a fact, I know personally and been on the phone with them, who got jobs in 2020, who joined the military in 2020. And guess what? You can go to their YouTube channel and you wouldn't know a thing. It's the same. See, Cat Theo, and it's not me picking on her, this is just using an example. People are like, man, Cat Theo's just giving all this game. One of her videos, she brought some guy on. She said, well, I don't really do this, but I'm going to bring him on because he does do this. And then somebody started digging. She's like, well, I have a full-time job. Cat Theo runs ads. If you got a secure, regular job that's paying you 10 to 11 grand a month, and you can peel off 2 grand every month like clockwork without it bothering you and paying for ads on YouTube, so that your YouTube bag run you up some money, 20, 30 grand a month. Now you may say, well, I will quit my job. But if this money some months is 50K, and then another month is 10K, then another month is 40K, then another month, it's unchaotic. People's natural cycles do not allow that. If somebody makes 50K one month and the next month they make 10K, they're going to panic. That's anybody. Look at all these basketball players. Look at all these football players. They're making all this money. That's when they slow down. Look at Fat Joe doing that story about he had $10 million and kept withdrawing 50 grand from the bank every day. And when he went back to the bank like 2.5 years later, they were like, Mr. Joe, ain't no money in the bank. He said, my butt got this tight. Because people, no matter the money amount, when money is funny, they get nervous. They get anxiety. They start freaking out. Okay. Now, I'm not saying his money is funny, but what I'm trying to tell y'all is this fantasy, y'all are holding on to that. Everybody would just quit their job and lay up and bang all day and snowboard. That is a fantasy for men under 25 years old. Let's just go there. Even the young business entrepreneurs I know that are like 27, 28, 25. They did a solid 2-3 years of hot cars, hot chicks, club. And now they're like, well, shit, I done did that. What's else? I'm going to build this other thing. And that's how you be on here and seeing people build these other businesses, because they literally get bored. Productive people. Go read Aaron Curry's book, The Curse of the High IQ. You know, the average guy or girl can be like, I'm going to just show up for my 40 hours. I'm going to watch some of this football and barbecue this weekend. And that's good enough. That's a lot of people. And that's fine. That's why when people tell me, I'll tell you what I'm going to do when I get $1 million. Sir, you can't tell me what somebody else would do, because you aren't going to do it. Okay. So again, this is the U.S. Career Institute. Again, a lot of these jobs, 75K. You know what I mean? Petroleum pump system operators, refinery jobs, right? Signals and track switch repairers. Again, that's what trains. Okay. The lighting technicians. Now, something you'll notice about this list, these are men and women. Let me be careful. With skills. When I drove through Idaho, this other part, Rexburg and this other parts, I could tell they had a government contract, because they were fixing such a big swatch of no middle nowhere roads. This money had to either come from the government, from when they had the storm, or the infrastructure bill, which I don't think they put it out that fast. Half of the people on the machines were women. These country folks were getting their money. When we were driving into Yellowstone, I would say on the other side of it, close to Idaho, they had a switch in optic fiber for internet, right? There were signs everywhere, billboards everywhere talking about internet, but there was women and 2 men on these. They had a pickup truck and they had a trailer behind it, and on the giant side it said fiber, new internet coming in, and they was out there digging in the ground doing whatever. And I said, honey, they getting money because they was way out here in the middle of nowhere putting fiber in, okay, into the ground. So again, look over this list. I have it in the description. Again, subway, streetcar operators, insurance appraisers, auto damage, first line construction. As you go down the list, the money gets lower. But a lot of times when people tell you that they only make 30, 40K a year as a man or a woman, I be looking at them crazy like, clearly you working a job that you ain't doing full-time hours, and you can't be doing A, B, and C, because these jobs are not even spectacular jobs. Some of these are property managers, control operators, water transportation, flight attendants make 50 something a year. Salespeople make 50 something a year. Plumbers, apprenticeship level, make 55 grand a year. Wellhead pumpers make 55K a year. That's literally a job on here, y'all. People in the oil fields, all these jobs that y'all acting like y'all too good to do, making 60K a year. That's why these people in these skills, they're gonna own houses. They're gonna have rentals. I told y'all when I went to the Rat Race to Freedom conference, the guy sitting beside us, it was me and Andrew, and the guy sitting beside us was an older white guy, and he said, man, I'm just trying to start investing in apartments. I said, man, that's cool. He said, I'm a plumber. I've been a plumber forever, on my own company forever. I only got 10 rentals, and it's just not enough. Me and Andrew look at each other. Did you just say you got 10 rentals? Yeah, I got 10 rentals in Dallas. It's just not enough. In that moment, you're like, this plumber done got 10 rentals and he don't even think he rich. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Again, look at this list. It's in the thing. But a lot of times what happens is people don't want to take an honest assessment of what they're doing, their current job is. And so when you hear somebody like who's a millionaire and maybe bored goofing off on YouTube, is like, hey, I'm gonna take this executive job, which probably means around $230,000 and bonus benefits. And people are like, oh, Erica, this happens in Austin, And again, I was over at O'Shea Duke channel, and we did a video about tech and other stuff. And men are, oh no, that's not true. You only gonna make 80K. And I said, brother, where you live at? Well, that's from my experience, and I'm in tech. I said, baby, I bring on tech people every Tuesday. What you're saying is low, bottom level, entry level stuff. So you work at bottom level, entry level help desk, and you trying to discourage other men from going over here and getting 80, 90,000, 100,000 a year because you only at 80,000. What part of the game is that? Okay. Ooh, that's sharp. Carrot, ginger, and orange. Ooh, that's sharp. Okay. So again, why would someone who's making money like that take a job? Consistent pay, tax write-offs, benefits, influencing your community, period. Lots of stuff. And let me go ahead and put it to you another way. Lane from Simple Passive Cash Flow. He's closed on 39 mobile home parks and apartment complexes. Where's all his private money came from? Tech. He was an engineer in Seattle, Washington, engineer in I think California, and then an engineer in Hawaii. So who is he bumping into? Men who make 150,000, 100 to 180,000 a year, who are doing what? Looking for opportunities to invest their money. So people be talking down about jobs, but depending on the level of the job you get into, the career, the atmosphere, the connections, you're talking about a gateway to all kind of money. You're talking about a door to all kind of partnerships. So again, I just want to, a lot of times people live in this fantasy land of when I get this money, I'm going to quit my job and lay in my drawers all day. And I mean, come on now. That's right. You went over there. Okay. He was walking when I was walking. I said, okay, I see you now. I'm looking behind me. He did. He said there was a minority scholarship. It just is what it is, man. Honey. And there's a certain type of flash that is, I know from other flashes. When I see a man with a sharp tailored suit, it's a certain type of way. Honey, you know the money. But when it's just regular, it's regular. I know, Bella. I keep trying to tell people. You know what I mean? People don't believe in me. Yeah, that's what he said. He said he's coming out doing brand new construction projects with arm loans. Like people are doing crazy stuff. Larry, I'm just telling you, like my real life, I interact and I'm very smiley. I smile a lot. I'm happy when I go out. People be talking to me all like, "Hi, how you doing?" I'll be like, "Oh shit." But I think that's my personality and my energy. Yep, the balloons. Yep. Anthony, he's Hispanic now. He's older. He's way older than you think. I mean, he's not that old, but he older. I don't know what this means, but I'm gonna delete you because I'm just I'm gonna put you on block because I'm nervous. Okay, it is. It's really nice to have good conversation with people. It is what it is. It is what it is. People be sleeping because honestly, I'm pretty sure the other people that was there didn't pay us either me or him no mind, but we paid each other some mind. That's just how it go. But yeah, don't sleep on these situations out here because people be talking about, oh, the real estate gonna crash. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna mean it. Same thing with Diamond Dave video from earlier. But if you were looking, oh, it's gonna crash. I'm gonna wait to the crash. And honest, the truth is, like some areas not gonna crash. They're gonna soften, but they're not gonna crash. Austin, Texas, not gonna crash. Parts of Houston gonna definitely soften a lot. Parts of Dallas gonna soften. Austin, we just aren't big enough. The square footage is not big enough to really have a crash. Raleigh, North Carolina, Charlotte. Now, Charlotte crashed in 2008 because that was all countrywide and they just bailed on everybody. But a bunch of these folks, because they experienced what 2008 happened, and if it took them a long time to get another house, they're gonna say, "Bump it, I'm gonna just stay in this house and ride it till the wheels fall off." You dig what I'm saying? And they'll be underwater and don't care. It's not even that the coastal cities are overpopulated. People love saying overpopulated. That's just not true. They're overtaxed and crime ridden for sure. Because here's the thing: there are parts of North Carolina that are desert bare, and people are like, "Oh, North Carolina, we only have 10 million people in North Carolina." Literally, you can literally be in the beach to the mountains in like I think 14 hours, less than 10 hours. But we got parts of North Carolina that are way empty. There are huge parts of Texas that are bare bone empty. There are huge, but you have the population of DFW is bigger than 31 states. I was going through Idaho and there were towns with only 1,600 population. Right. So when people say, well, I'm looking for houses there for sale, they only got 100 for sale. And most of them are brand new that they built. So again, it's money coming from outside. Definitely a price correction. Thank you, Jessica Hicks, for the 49 super chat. They did. They softened in a lot of areas. San Antonio realtor ads have red arrows showing drops. There you go. Longer items. People don't see it. Wells Fargo, some banks aren't giving loans anymore. I mean, there's a lot. Milwaukee, Wisconsin's whack. Let me just be very clear. The tax situation in Wisconsin and Chicago and Illinois in general have pushed people to leave. And they go into every other state around it. Yeah, it's the land of milk and honey. Oh, it jumped. My bad, my bad. Tim Cook still work. A lot of these wealthy people work. And even when I go into a situation where it be somebody older selling a piece of property, they be 65. 65. You know, when most people say, I'm retiring, you be 65, 60, working every day. San Diego, same thing. San Diego doesn't have a ton of jobs, according to people from San Diego, but overall, they out there. Work is a part of life. Building's a part of life. Broderick, there you go. Broderick, please tell these people. Sorry about this. Got to drink in your ear. Asa Selden was saying how she wanted to reach 1 million or 5 million or something. That sent her interview. Go watch it. Xavier Miller's channel. And she was saying she realized that wasn't what it used to be. And the fact is that she like pretty much remodeled and threw like $500,000 in a house in LA. I think like near Baldwin Hills or something crazy. And she was like, every day I'm in LA, I think it's like 11 to 12 grand just a month just to be out here. Just because the cost of living. And this is someone who's an economic advisor, financial advisor. And she's doing the math on California. Grant Cardone and all those people left California. They doing the math. So when people tell me, oh, it ain't that bad, Erica, California making money, people, there's still money out here. There's still money in a lot of places, but they're going down. Policies is killing them. So, yeah. Well, there's Lambos at the gyms in Austin. This is true. Despite these liberal tax increase, there will still be millionaires and billionaires minted in this generation. I think we're gonna have a ton of millionaires. Like it's gonna be people. I'm a millionaire. And you're gonna be like, okay, whatever. It's gonna be almost like eye blinking because I've met so many people over 2020 that had a little e-commerce store that did 2 million, and they like, oh my god, my e-commerce store did 2 million. I remember in Austin, I met a guy. He had just came to from California to Austin. Him and his wife. They just got married. They were so excited. I was talking to him and I'm like, He created an app, sold it to Facebook for like 2.5 mil, almost 3 mil. It was like 2.7, some number that was close to 3. And he was talking about how they were looking in Westlake to buy a house. And his woman just all about it. They like 25 years old. And I almost busted out laughing in their face. I said, baby, you made like almost 3 million. I know your lawyers got some of that. You gonna move into a $1.5 million house in Westlake? What's your next ideal? Because by the time you pay taxes on that money that you just made from selling that app, and then you pay some taxes on that $1.5 million house in Westlake that you're thinking about getting, you're gonna need to come up with another app ideal real fast. Real fast. I'll tell anybody right now, if you got $1 million to $3 million, you need to go buy 50 properties that really produce 1,000 to 1,500 a month. Just straight up. And whatever that looks like. And that could be a long conversation, but I'm just telling you that ain't the time to trick off. And everybody be like, oh, I'm gonna buy me a nice car. And even somebody in yesterday's video, well, how long should a brother wait with an old beater before you buy a new car? That's your mindset. Your mindset is your car is an old beater. Why did you buy an old beater to be with? Why don't you just buy another medium-sized car? Why does it have to be a G-Wagon? Why does it have to be the top tier Lexus, top tier Mercedes Benz? It's just some of this stuff is the common sense say you buy a house first. The common sense say you have other assets that pay for that car. So it's not even a question. It's not even a big deal. You dig what I'm saying? There you go. Oh, Broderick Brown. Yeah. I mean, I don't know his exact numbers, but I just want you guys to understand the average when somebody says they're an executive in Austin, on average, it's 178 to 250. Period. And that's before stock options. So I'm pretty sure his is around 300,000. I'm telling you from the perspective of someone who people have reached out to me to pay me 110, 100,000, 115 to just come over and manage their projects, to come over and take over their thing and organize this and do that. Marketing, I've been offered that, y'all. People are going to offer winners that type of money. They're going to offer go-getters that type of money. And if you have your office set up or your business set up on YouTube, pre-record a lot of this stuff. O'Shea Duke Jackson pre-recorded a ton of stuff. Let your editors edit it and keep it pushing. But see, people don't hear that. Exactly. He got a whole network, all kind of people. Thomas Dixon. That's what I'm saying. People really try to get smart me about this stuff, and I'm like, it just is what it is. Cloud solution architects, knowing data. Mm-hmm. It really does, Tam, and that's the thing. People really try to get mad and be like, Erica, why you going to? I'm like, I take that job that day. California corrections officer. Yep. User interference. Thank you for the word, but that's what she did to her testimonial. It was a UX, and I was like, dang. There you go. Listen, had a friend in data jumped to cloud space, first 2 weeks of job coming for him at 140, 150. Yeah. And see, what I want people to understand is um 150, you're making 5 times the national average. If the national average is somebody making 30K, and this is no disrespect. I know men are gonna be like, Erica's being a feminist and all this silly mess. If you're a man making 35K a year, 40K a year, and winter's coming for these people. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm like, I'm meeting women who already got the house, cars paid off. They're more conservative with their cash. Even though you see them on vacation, they're more conservative with their cash because they know they don't have a spouse like their counterparts. Right? I'm meeting dudes in Austin who own 2, 3 houses. Like, I got a friend, he's in tech, and he's never been able to get a big promotion, and he don't want to do more than what he's doing. So he's just kind of coasted in this job. He owns 4 houses in Austin. You do the math on that. You know how much housing is in Austin. Come on, man. Again, at some point with the number game, you are already head over heels above people, and there's no bank that's going to tell you no. Now, a bank can tell you no if your business is doing the wobble. They can be like, well, your business is seasonal. Your business is going up and down, but you got a job paying 150 to 300,000 a year. Okay, what you need? What do you need? What kind of loan do you need? You need another house loan? You need another mortgage? It's a whole different conversation. And that's why I don't understand people acting like they don't understand that you making more than the national average, even if the average in your city is 50K, you making 150, you're making 3 times the national average. There's only so many vacations a year you can do. There's only so much goofing off you can do. There's only so much tricking you can do. Yep. Look at all the artists selling their masters because they can't tour. Of course. Of course. Watch Scarface, make love all day, eat turkey sandwiches. Again. Yep. I take a contract job every winter and still manage 2 personal businesses. Again, it's possible. Mm-hmm. Technical trainers for cybersecurity are making 300,000, 400,000 training. Tech content creators make up 500,000. Yeah. Yeah. And so when people say, oh, these people are all quitting their jobs, go look at who's saying they're quitting their job. Right? Even if it's a tech person, go look at the tech channels where people are like, oh, I quit my tech job. It was real stressful. And in the comments, people are like, well, how much you make? I'm making 180 a year. They living in a 1-bedroom. They got a fancy car, but they got a 1-bedroom doing a YouTube channel. How much money do you think they got stacked? They got money stacked for months. I know personally people in tech in Austin who bought a house when it was cheap in Austin. And they were going snowboarding, skiing. They'd be out there for a whole daggone month. Oh, yeah, I'm still at work, Erica. I'm like, well, how you at work? You snowboarding on? Oh, I do remote. This is before remote was cool. This is like 2018, 2019. So again, when you start making a certain amount of money, there's only so much goofing off you can do. Railroad work, yeah. One of the guys that owns four semi trucks. People are like, how do he get all this money? He works for the railroads in Florida. I am Diamond. Thank you for the 999 super sticker. Yep. Mm-hmm. Todd, I'll talk more about it tomorrow as far as west what's going on out here. But yeah. Tedious work. Oh, tedious work. The haters is real out here. People always just hating. Low energy, low skills, haters. Money is money. Mm-hmm. What's up, classy climbers? I mean, if you're leaving the workforce again, how long can you leave? What's your reserves? How much money do you have to put towards investments, other things you want to do? California's policies are causing it to crash. But it will always have, again, I want y'all to understand what I'm trying to say to y'all. California, New York will always have millions of dollars rolling through it. But just like when you have an Asian food restaurant and an Asian hair salon, that person makes all that money in that black community, and then they take it and go live over there. They take it and they children go to school over there. They take it and they go. That's what New York and California is. Oh yeah, I made my money in New York, but I'm gonna take it and go over here. I made my money in California, but I'm gonna take it and put it over there. I ain't staying there. Because again, if you really want to have true power, and I ask you, where can you buy 20, 50 homes at and dominate? And you make it like you don't got no money. Well, then Detroit, Cleveland, Ohio, Rust Belt towns. I shared it in the community tab. A guy came into one town with his new wife. It's like his last wife, because he 80 and she like 40. And they've changed the town. They brought franchises into the town. They got all those kids getting this extra tutors. Well, of course, the town only got 600 people in it. It's like 1,000 people in it in Littleton, North Carolina. So now they basically took over a whole town because they're rich enough to take over a whole town. And all he did was what? Construction. Okay, so again, pay attention, y'all. It is very, listen, don't take my word on it. Go look up on realtor.com, Diggs, Idaho. Go look up West Yellowstone. West Yellowstone is dirty to me, but go look up some of these places. People can't accept that private capital is a new support level in real estate. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. There's not even a million people. It's too late. They're gonna keep coming. Sean, it is. But again, Fort Worth, Weatherford, there's inventory. It just ain't where y'all want to live. I did. I saw it. I saw the museum. I saw it from the road. I was like, I didn't want to go over there. I saw it. It didn't interest me. I was like, okay, I see a plane out there, but I'm gonna keep on going. Thank you for the $5 super chat. He just shifted. Yeah. Yep. Money goes somewhere. I tell you, once you get to 200,000, you're a accredited investor. I'm telling you, my aunt's house in Baldwin Hills appraised for 1.9 million in original condition. Since my uncle built it in original condition, let me tell you something. When people tell me, this woman said, "Oh, the price is so high in California. They just want us out of here. You can't even sell because then where can you go?" If your parents' house, the girl's parents' house, is worth $2 million, if you aren't smart enough or capable enough to figure out how to cash out refi from your parents' house and go invest it in other things, real estate, stock market, dividend stocks, like, again, people in Hawaii figured it out. Other people in California figured it out. People in New York figured it out. Why can't you figure it out? It's just really crazy. Stop it. I was paying $5,000 a year on property taxes in Cali years ago on a 500 square foot condo. Great information. I really am not, Broderick. I'm not, because I don't think it's long term. It doesn't make sense. It only makes sense if you never have any changes, right? Even if you look at Mr. Mustache's blog on the 4% rule, he would have to literally keep a low income forever. And that's why he literally even says that's why him and his wife only had one child, because they didn't want to spend more money. They wanted to keep that very low, cheap 40,000 a year living. And to me, I didn't come on this earth to not have like 4 kids, even if I got to adopt a couple of them. Why do we make all this money? So you can have a spoiled one only child? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. So instead of the 4% rule, I think from now, me living long enough to see if you own a business and it makes money, if you have a certain number of rentals, you can keep adding on to the number of rentals you have and make more money. I think that's a better strategy. And what's funny about this is Glenn and Cameron was saying that don't even make sense, and it's true. There you go. LTTV living his dream. Foxy Brown, that's basically it. They get the girls, they get the cars to get the girls they complain about on Kevin Samuels lives. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Carrying costs. Mm-hmm. This is my whole, listen, Tiffany, again. Go listen to Diamond Dave's thing. Talk about a lot about escapism. Some groups do escapism. If you left from California to come out here to Utah to live in an old 1970s apartment just so you can go, whoo, I got a break on rent, that ain't it. That's not the move. The move is the move where the opportunity, a job, new situation. When people talk about Austin, I talk about going like, 30 minutes north of Austin and buying up a bunch of property and land in that spot. They're like, why are you doing that? I said, because you go where the opportunity is. You invest where you can dominate. You invest where you could be on the city council. You invest where you could be in politics somewhere. See, a lot of people, they're thinking about chasing booty every day. And that's their master plan. I'm like, good luck. Call me when you pull that hip. Congratulations, man. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. Sean, check out our shows on Tech Tuesdays. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you so much. And I'll chop this video up because I know I've been all over the place in this video, and I don't expect people to complain about it, but I don't care. Again, I do this because I want to do this. And a lot of people are on YouTube doing 8-hour hangouts just because they ain't got nothing to do. I do this because I'm going in a direction with this. There's a reason I'm doing what I do. So peace of mind, plenty of money. Congratulations. Oh yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, let me even tell you this, James. I've been looking at land in Southeast Raleigh for 5 years and couldn't get the wholesalers to be serious about it. And now they announcing this, and now everybody's like, "Oh my god," freaking out when they already had plans for that Southeast Raleigh for at least 5 years now. Build a starker statement to do all kind of stuff. It don't. It really don't. Oh, honey, it don't hit like it used to. Even 250 don't hit like it. You be like, should have some more breathing room. But when y'all start seeing these taxes, shoo, shoo, it ain't no joke. Philly is going crazy. I've done a video on Philly and how Philly's been a hot, crazy market for about 7 years now. See, people on the ground know something's moving, right? If you really talk to Philly people or you go watch Philly videos, it's been moving like that for about 7 years. And I'm going to say this and no disrespect, but it's disrespect. If you're a wholesale flipper and all you thinking about is wholesaling for the next 10 years, you already missed it. You've already missed it up here. Most wholesalers, if you pay attention, they get their ball rolling for 2 to 3 years. They're that guy, that dude everybody calls. The phone's ringing off the hook. But then they keep a property. They may they may wholesale 4, but keep the 5th one. Wholesale 10, keep the last 2. Because the real game is keeping the properties. Because what happens when you wholesale everything out of Philly and now you can't buy anything in Philly? You what part of the game? You missing part of the game. You doing it backwards, you hustling backwards, and then complaining all the white people making you move out. They're not making you move out. You wholesaled everything and didn't keep any of it. Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you right now. I was out there looking at Idaho because you can't even turn off. You can't turn off the investor recruiter and looking. It's hard to turn it off. So I was driving around this one part, and I said, "Oh my god!" I was like, $750,000 for this 2-bedroom, 2-bath house. This is marketing to somebody from California. So then I typed in the computer land for 750 and less. There was whole 20 acres, 30 acres, 50 acres. Okay, so I said, what about if I have 200,000? 20 acres, 15 acres. Why would you buy a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house that you're gonna have to rent out to have money at 750 when you could buy a whole piece of land? People be missing it. DC's nice. I will not lie. Get in there if you want to get there. There you go. My grandparents bought 2 houses in the 80s for $6K and $12K. Now those houses are worth $90K a piece. There you go. Exactly. People got 10 people renting in a house, taking up all the spaces. Congratulations, man. Not Clubhouse is a mess. Dropping some change and collector. I think for $20 cash app, super chat, cash app, whatever the thing is. You know what I'm trying to say. He does good job. I bring on Super Sub-Zero all the time. Get my link. Hit my link for Sub-Zero first. Don't just be out there throwing his email out there. South Carolina's a rough. They can't read down there. But they got so many Ohio people coming, it's gonna blend it out. Honey, let me tell you something. Broderick Brown. I keep telling people, go watch Diamond Dave video, but I'm really serious. If you go over there and something happens to you in Brazil, and now your mama and them doing GoFundMe to get you back from Brazil, your body and stuff like that, that's just not, what part of the game is that? If you're going up and over to Africa and you broke in Africa, you go funding me out there in Africa. You in Vietnam where rent is $400. Rent is $200 a month. In parts of Spain is $200. And you need help? Honey, you didn't need to leave from over here anyway. But now that you up and over there, stay over there. Now that you over there, stay over there. Let them figure it out for you. Right? Again, this guy was talking about, I lived in Vitter, Texas my whole life. I drive through there for work. I said, you don't live there though, because no black people live there. They've made sure of it. So if something happens to you because you up over there dating one of their women, that's your problem. Let her defend you. Y'all be going in places where it don't make no sense. Don't go over there. It will not happen this year. The softening will happen this year. Look around the summer of next year, because see what happens is it's a combination effect. People who took a cash out refi, if they owned a bunch of rentals and they bought more, some of their tenants paid, some people are going to get that stimulus check. Some people are going to get that rental assistance late. But by next summer, you're going to see it. But what you're going to see this fall, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to see people snowboarding, taking vacations, because a lot of people bought that stuff up early. Mm-hmm. Oh, been booming. See, that depends on where you live. That's where you live. If you live in New York, you live in California, your taxes eating you up. But if you have a business, if you're a 1099 employee, if you're a contract temp worker, different way to move it around. Self-made. Again, come check us out on Tech Tuesdays. Maybe somebody in the chat can comment to you. A lot of what I see right now in tech is customer experience, user experience per se, and the cloud. So it depends. See, here's the question. I hate this question. I'm not gonna try to be funny. There's so many more factors. I don't know what's going on with you. I'm not being funny. Like, if you in the debt up to your eyeballs and 70K ain't enough, then it ain't enough. Right? If you're bored at your job already, you got 18 more years, then maybe it's not enough. Thank you. Exactly. People be lying. They don't live there. They drive through there. Montana. Check out my show tomorrow. Montana, Idaho, Utah, all them areas. Okay. Cheap land. And when you see my show tomorrow, I'm gonna tell you how they survive and how they keep it. Arizona's hot, not a lot of water. That's what I'm saying. You going over somewhere else and you ain't got your money right, that don't make no sense. Exactly. Been an expat. She's been an expat for a decade. It's not for the faint of heart. There's a black woman and a black guy. They both work remote tech. They were out in either Morocco or somewhere, and they found each other. Black Americans, and they just laughing up and dating now. And they live together. The expat is a real deal living out there. Yep, foreigners can't buy land in a lot of countries, especially right now in Mexico. Stuff that's on the beach, they've been taking it back from them. And they've been like, help America. America's like, when you bought that land, you signed a piece of paper in Mexico that says you will not ask the United States government to help you. So again, no. Most jobs are not going overseas. I'm gonna show you a bunch of articles, maybe on one of these Tech Tuesdays, but I'm gonna just show you there. If you look in the chat, if you look in the description, I put it. There are major companies leaving China, and people are just left in these warehouses and these buildings with no work. They used to work at a tech company. Pay attention to the news. You can't Thailand. Only if, and here's the funny thing. I'm in Thailand tricking. You can only own land if your wife owns the land in Thailand, and then you don't even own it. Your wife owns it. So again, these people be out here lying to y'all, cutting up. Don't believe the hype. So anyway, we've been here an hour and 6 minutes. This is good enough. I'm gonna chop this video up, but I just want you to stay. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Folks done with China. Folks is done with China. Okay. But yeah, what's gonna happen is a lot of people are, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but they leave in California without a plan. They really didn't have much of a plan. They don't make a lot of money. I watched this girl leave from the Bay, and go to Danville, Virginia. Y'all ain't shit in Danville, Virginia. The rent is like $450. And she's like, this is great. If you ain't have S going on when you was in the Bay, you ain't gonna have S going on in Danville, Virginia for sure. Ain't nothing going on out there. But a lot of people are definitely relocating, and that's fine. Please take your, like, our family's had a woman living in one of our properties from New York for 15 plus years at this point. 15 plus years. She was just excited about the rent being cheap from New York. This is how people are. Farming, there's money in farming. There's contracts. There's smaller level farms. There's all kind of stuff. We've done shows about that. But there's still money in that. Boom. There you go. I mean, it happens. They're paying people to move to Vermont, Maine, all kind of stuff. I can't give away everything I'm trying to do. Mostly what I'm trying to do is have our accountant come on board, clean up a lot of documents, clean up a lot of paperwork, get ourselves ready for the store location I'm opening for this thing. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I'm working on behind the scenes. I'm not even talking about it here on YouTube because, you know, people get mad. They don't know the whole story, whatever. So I just gotta keep it low kill. But, you know, if you ever see me, in government position or anything in Texas, you know why. I got paid to be there. All right. If you ever see me working at a tech company, I'm getting hella paid to be there. If you see me working for somebody on part of their staff, I'm hella paid to be there. So just gonna say that. Just gonna say that. But yeah, homesteading, farming's lots of money in that. But you'll see a lot of people doing basically sharecropping, where they lease farmland. I know. Listen. Glenn Cameron's a big guy. It's possible. I'd have to see him up person. I just thought it was funny. I mean, I don't know if he's 5'6" for real, but I just think it's hilarious. And I did a whole segue on it. If he's 6'6", I'd be surprised. But again, prepare yourselves. There's definitely a softening going on in the market. But if I were you, if I'm in the position of maybe you live in New York or California, I would go find somewhere where I can buy 10 or 12 properties and be dominant in that area, because the one property manager is going to fight hard for your money. They're going to fight hard to work with you. They're going to fight hard to have a whole staff that's some builders, some welders, some handy repairman trying to work to keep your business, because they know if you could get 10, you might get 10 more, and they're going to be your best friend. So Go where you can dominate. If you live in California, New York, and you can't dominate there, and there's no money on the edge of anything for you to live, you may need to move. You may need to move. So think wisely, think long term. Um, you know, we'll talk more about it. We'll talk more about it in the future. But tomorrow's show, I'll talk about what I see happening out here out west, and what's the future for a lot of people, and what's the future on land out here. So, anyways, you guys, this is your girl Erica, Classic Climb Blog. Thank you for hanging out late, and don't be scared of jobs. Don't let these internet people think that all you do all day is get goofy and hang out. Live your life. Later, you guys.